Hello and welcome to the Makers. Today we are going to needle felt our we're starting on our needle felted scarecrow. You're here to watch part one, and it's very exciting because I've been looking forward to this project for quite some time. So hopefully you are as excited as I am. And part one today we are going to make the head and the Hessian upper body. So that's what we're doing, basically all of this and the upper body. And we've got a few people hopefully watching here today as well. And oh, we've got a few already. I'm sure others will join us. So I'm just going to say a quick hello to Eva. Hello, Eva. Hello, Sandra. Hello, Jan. Hello, Diana. Hello, Vampire Venom. Hello, Erica, and anybody else who's watching who I know doesn't always make themselves known, as we found out recently. So many people we had at our lovely summer weekend away here at the wilderness go wild with the makers, and we did go a bit, and and people said, oh, we found you through YouTube, and we had no idea who these people were until after the weekend, of course, because we got to know them really well. And so I'm beginning to think there are a lot more watching than actually are saying that they're here. And we always welcome new people if they want to make themselves known. So so we have got new in the house today, just then, Catherine, Meg, Lorna, Heather, Alison, and Maria, which is of course Emma's mum. So hello, Emma's mum. And we've got Joe. Alison, are you the Alison who came to our retreat? Well, let's find out. Right. Okay. So part one today: head and upper body of the Hessian upper body of the scarecrow. Part two will be the legs and attaching them to the body, and stuff the scarecrow with a straw, but it's not straw. And then part three will be to finish the whole thing, and we're gonna make the little mice that are here on the scarecrow, poking out of the top. There you go. So I'm going to start by opening up the scarecrow pack. Now, if you haven't got the scarecrow pack, then don't worry, because we have advertised what you need to make the scarecrow on our YouTube channel. And if you're watching this later, then you can still see that there. You can also still buy the scarecrow pack, that's still available. And I should also just say that on our live streams, which today is a live stream, and I have actually no idea what date it is today. I'm just trying to think. It might be the 17th. Hopefully it is the 17th of August. If you're watching this live, then you can be in for a chance to win yourself the following. So let's have a look. What can you win? Today's prize is a pumpkin pack. And all you need to do is pop into the comments. Tell us what your scarecrow will be guarding. So obviously, scarecrows are known to be scaring away birds or crows or whatever. But what is your scarecrow guarding from whoever might want to get to it? Tell us in the comments. Emma will be picking a random winner by the end of this live stream. And Emma is also in my ear. So if you've got any questions that I need to say out loud and repeat for the benefit of everybody, either pop them in the comments, or and then Emma can read them out. Or if I'm lucky, I might not miss them either. Sometimes I go a little bit all over the place with the comments, but totally unintentional. Right. So let's have a look at this needle felting scarecrow pack. And to do this, I'm going to the overhead camera. There we go. And it's in our new packaging. All of our packs now will come in this, unless they fit into a flat large letter box, but we're trying to cut plastic out, so this is why we're doing this. Lots of wool in there. Look at that. Oh, you're gonna have such a nice plump scarecrow. You're going to use the fox sheep, which is this one here, for the head. And sorry, this is the fox sheep here. Sorry, for the head. And well, basically for the head. And then you're going to use, this is the characterful merino mix, and you're going to use this in lieu of straw or hay, whatever you would stuff your scarecrow with. It's a really lovely, well, it's actually quite a good color to imitate that hay and straw. Then you've got the variegated green, which we're going to use to make the legs. And then we have got the brown here, which are the boots. And then all of these natural colors we're going to mix so that you can make little mice, 3 different colors even. You have got a little bit of black because you need that to make the mouth. You have got some muted orange here, which is to make the nose. And then you have got some claret red to make the scarf. And then, of course, best of all, you get the hair, the straw hair, which is super soft, actually, super soft alpaca yarn. And you get a little hat. Ooh, a little hat to put on your Scarecrow. It's way too small for him, but it looks kind of cute because it's just a silly old hat that you would have found somewhere. And then you also get your eyes in here, which are our glue-in eyes. And there you go, 2 of those, and I'm going to keep them safe somewhere because we will be using those today, so I'm going to put them safe somewhere. Then you also have wire in there, so you have got you've got 1 of the really strong green stem wires. This is what we are going to start today. So you need to, if you've got that from our pack, then bend it into 1 straight length again, or as straight as you can. And then you've got 2 of our flexible steel wires, which we will be using for the arms and the legs. And least but not last, the Hessian piece that you will need to make the Scarecrow's top. That's all you get in there. Now I'm going to keep the hair in there. I'm going to take the orange and the black out. I'm going to keep the red in there because that's for the scarf. We don't need that yet. I'm going to keep the green in there. We're not using that either. But I will take my fox sheep, definitely, that one. I will take the Hessian, take that out, and I will put away the merino characterful mix, and I'm also putting away the brown, which is the I think it's the mountain sheep, because we don't need that either for the shoes. That's for another time. Yeah, and little straw hand, we don't need that yet. So let's go back to the main picture. I'm going to put this box away. Okay. Ooh, I might need to get something else out of the box. Apparently Emma's just telling me, because I think I'm doing the arms. Yes, I'm doing the arms, so I will need, let's just take it out already. I will need some of that of the Caracal merino mix. So right, the rest I'm going to put away, and let's get started. Oh yes, the instructions are obviously coming in the pack as well, but I took them out earlier. If you've never seen any of our instructions, they're all pretty uniform. You get a picture at the front, you get a full list of what you need. There's always a skill level on there. So this one is a crafty beginner. It tells you the size of it, and it tells you what techniques you are going to learn or you're using. So on here, you're wrapping wire with wool, adding features, mixed media, textiles, because we're using Hessian and other parts of fabric. What other parts of fabric? Well, none. It's just the Hessian, but it sounds really cool if you say mixed media, so that's good. Oh, and I do need some pliers, which I yes, which I can see, but I haven't got here. So I might use my fingers, but the green wire is really, really hard to bend. I knew there was something else I needed. But in any case, we often have templates on our instructions, so you will find that here too. And you've got choice of giving your Scarecrow a straight top or a slightly tunic shaped top. The one that you can see here has the tunic shaped top. Right, let's have a go. So start at the beginning. I'm going to read the instructions, which I'm famous for not following, even though I have written them myself. And whilst I'm doing this, I'm going to grab some wires, but what I will show you is just a quick overview of the next live streams to expect. So here you go. Scarecrow on for this week and the next 2 weeks. So that's going to be quite a large project. I'm still here. You might hear my voice disappear a little bit, but that's because I'm moving away from the mic whilst I'm grabbing the pliers. And then we have coming up, next we have coming up, I've actually no idea because I'm not looking at the screen right now. Next we have got coming up, oh yes, the pumpkin. And we're going to make a giant pumpkin, and I will be absolutely, I can't find the flipping pliers. Okay, I'm going to have to use my hands and hope for the best. Hopefully I've got steel fingers today. My workshop space is a little bit messy. And then after that we've got the witch. The wicked witch, or the little witch even. I like that better. She's a really cute little witch. But I will show you her for real as well, because she is actually flying here. So that's the witch. And then the pumpkin is probably that size, if not that size, depending how solid you felt it. And that will be made from the pumpkin pack, which I haven't even shown you yet, because this is what you can win today. If you tell us what your scarecrow is guarding, pop it into the comments. And as you know, on Thursdays at 7 p.m. we restream this particular tutorial on our Facebook page, so you can watch it again and be in for another chance to win, or maybe you're watching it for the first time. So that's basically that covered. Right, I'm going to go to the overhead camera now to show you how to make the head. And I will try my best to use my fingers to pinch the wire shut. Let's have a look how that goes. So I've got my, that's the fox sheep. We love this wool because it has got a natural beige. It's more beige. It's not just cream like a natural wool. It's positively beige, and we like that because you can either get quite sort of yellow creamy wool, or it's relatively white. But this one has a really lovely sort of earthy look, perfect for a scarecrow. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to start with your green stem wire, and you tease off a strand of the wool. It's best to sort of split it so that you get the length of the wool rather than shorter ends. And now you're going to wrap the end of that wire. And the way that I do it, let's do it slowly. I hold on to the wire with my finger and have pinched the wool in between. And then that is sort of my stable point. So when I wrap the wool around it, I'm still holding onto the wool, and the wool isn't slipping around the wire, and I can establish a first layer. Now, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to wrap this by about now I don't think it says how far, but that's okay because we've got plenty of wire here. Once you've wrapped the end, let's just say maybe 3-4 centimeters, then you're going to bend it in. Oh, I've got such strong fingers. And then you have to bend it all the way shut. Now you might have to use pliers for this, but I'm just about managing it with my fingers. So what you've done now is you've created that trap for the wool, and it's absolutely solid. It's really essential that you trap this wool well, because the wire that is at the end of the head is going to be you will pull on this later on, and this is the one that is stabilizing the scarecrow wherever you're positioning him, and you really don't want that to come out because that would be disastrous. So make sure that you've got that head really solid on there so that it doesn't go anywhere. It can't pull out. And then you get your felting mat. I'm going to use my A4 earth mat here that has been well used, as you can probably tell. And I'm going to start stabbing the wool in. It's a good thing when you're making heads like this to stab underneath first, so that you don't end up with a long sausage going down the wire, but keep it nice and compact around this area, because that's where we're building the head on. And then you are continuing by teasing the wool out. The wool will sort of find its way where the length of the wool is, and if you have a shorter length and you want to lengthen it, then just tease it out a little bit more, and then keep building the layers on here. And you do this until the head measures 5 centimeters in diameter when it's felted down. So I'm being a bit more generous now, building the layers up. I'm always going around the middle because I want to maintain that round head going round, and then you can shape it a little bit when you're ready to do so with your needle. And I'm using a coarse needle. That's probably a good bet to do. Mind that you don't stab into the wire, because that's obviously there. I'm just going to move the camera a little bit forward because I'm having to reach out quite a lot. So just bear with me. I'm going to adjust that. Sorry if that's making you feel seasick. but I promise you it's all good. There, that's a bit better, so I don't have to stretch my arms out so much. And just keep stabbing around the shaping of the head. It is quite it is possible that you can stab into the center of the ball and hit the wire, at which point you might bend and then break your needle. So do be careful with that. When I know there's wire inside, I'm always I stab quite deep, but I'm always ready to withdraw if that makes sense. Anyway, that sounded really, really wrong. I'm not going to say anything else about this now because it make it worse. Right, let's moving on swiftly, and let's just see what people are saying on the whilst you're doing all of this. I'm going to have a look on here. What are people saying? Let's have a look. Oh, yes, do give us the thumbs up. That's really important. Please, please, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And also, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, then please do subscribe. Tell all your friends and your family and neighbors and random strangers you meet on the street to subscribe to the Makers YouTube channel as you would. And let's see what people are saying. Got more people who are joining. Oh, Bridget is there all the way from Australia. Hope you're all right, Bridget. I know you definitely have been locked up for many, many times. Okay, so different Alison, not the retreat Alison. We never quite know what names people are using. Oh, first comments here. Ava says, my Scarecrow will be guarding the strawberries. And Sandra says, my Scarecrow would be guarding all the insects and mice, etc. Vampire Venom says, mine will be guarding my flower bed. Shame he can't keep next door's cat on her best behavior. Oh. Marian says, my Scarecrow will be guarding my husband's potato plants because they're delicious. Meg says, weeds, weeds, and more weeds. Is this what your Scarecrow is guarding? The weeds? Aha. Karen says, my Scarecrow will be guarding my pumpkin patch. Nice. Heather says, my Scarecrow will be guarding the lovely garden spiders. Erica says, what a lovely kit. Oh, thank you, Erica. That's very nice to say for you. And her Scarecrow will guard all the fairies. Haha. Good job. Good job. Bridget says, my Scarecrow will be guarding my tomatoes, but really I'd take in strays so they can just live in my backyard. Okay, there must be a cat theme going on that I've kind of missed. But really, I take in strays. I'm sure you're not thinking of stray tomatoes. I think you're probably thinking of stray cats. Strays. Okay, this is confusing me. Please enlighten me. Susan says, my Scarecrow will be guarding my fruit trees, rooks and crows already picking the apples and damsons. You can actually see the crows flying away with them. Oh no, you definitely need a Scarecrow or two. Joe says, my Scarecrow would guard my most precious possession, my beautiful cats. Lorna says, mine would be guarding my wool, keeping moss at bay. Choi says, mine will guard our garden veggies. Most have been eaten up by slugs, snails, earwigs, and others. Most recently, our sweet corn has been destroyed. Ah, got a good tip for you. Sorry, I've got an itchy nose. You could put wool around your veg bed. Slugs and snails hate wool, so they won't crawl all over it or through it. That's a really good tip for those of you who don't know that. Oh, Diane says she's a little bit late, but that doesn't matter. Rose says, I don't know what Rose says because it makes no sense in the context that I'm reading it, but she says my growing stash of wool. Lynn says my Scarecrow would be guarding my hedgehog who comes to visit at night and eats the slugs and snails. I mean wool bats. You need to put wool bats out. Like the felting wool, basically. Could be tops. But if you've got, but I mean, that would be way too much wasteful because they're quite expensive. But if you've got any, sometimes you get wool in packaging. You can use that to put that around your garden to stop the slugs from coming in. So yes, no, the wool, raw wool, I think works as well. So if you know where you can get your hands on a fleece, then you can put that around your veg bed, and that stops the snails and the slugs coming in as well. Right, I'm going to put another layer of this. I think you're going to have so much wool left. We've been extremely generous in this kit, but that's better than not having enough. So I'm going to put a thick layer on there. You can, of course, make the head a bit bigger if you want to. You definitely have got the wool for that. So put the wool around it, stab it down, maintain the round shape, and make sure that you get a nice firm ball at the end of the oh yes, that's a good point, Emma. Thank you. So Emma's just said, mind you don't poke the wire into your eyes as you have to move it around. So if you're having to put it up like that, don't lean forward and poke the wire into your eyes. Maybe lean it towards somebody else's eyes. No, don't do that either. It's quite funny though. Yes, so basically just stab the wool in around the ball shape and keep turning it and keep the wire away from you and other people. And when you feel that you're sort of like it's a nice solid ball, then take a final measurement, make sure it's about 5 centimeters as a minimum, but if yours is a little bit bigger, that's fine. The straw hat is already too small, so it doesn't matter if it fits even onto a bigger head. It's more of a cute accessory than a useful hat to keep the sun out of the scarecrow's eyes. And once you've done that, then we're moving on to the next step. So feel free to ask questions in the comments, and then they get fed back to me. Or I if I'm lucky, I can see the comments myself. There we go. If you find a little bit of vegetable matter in the wool, sometimes it just pops out as you keep felting it. It works its way to the surface, but it's also referred to as VM. If you ever hear people talking about VM in felting terms, that's vegetable matter. I'm sure it means other things in other specific hobbies and whatnot. So a question has been asked which I cannot answer because I haven't got the faintest idea. Would cat hair keep the slugs away? No idea. I know lots of cats eat slugs, so you could put the cat there. Chickens will do the same thing. So maybe mind you, the chickens will also eat your vegetables, so that's no good. I don't know if cat hair will keep the slugs away. I think slugs really don't like crawling over like that sort of it's more to do with the texture than it giving off anything. It'd be good. Somebody could do some research into this and find out what it is about wool that slugs don't like, and maybe there are commonalities with cat fur. Don't know how much cat fur you've got. Sort of imagining lots. Anyway, there you go. Right, that's quite a firm shape now. I'm just going to measure that. So if you haven't got a tape measure, remember we have got a tape measure on every page of our instructions on the left-hand side. So yeah, that's exactly 5 centimeters now. But I'm actually going to give it a bit more because I have got another lot of wool here that will make me another head exactly the same size. So I'm going to make this head a bit bigger, and then because I have got the wool, and stab it down. There we go. Another few stabs. If you have a multi-tool, you can speed your work up. If you've got a 3 felting tool, this is the clover one. The needles at the moment are sticking out that much, which is just about the right length not to hit the wire, so that's quite good. With this tool, you can take that front bit off if you need to go deeper into any felted shapes, but obviously you wouldn't want to do this here. And then if you've got the blue felting tool, you can use that too. The needles are sticking out a little bit more, so I can just about feel when I hit the wire. But either will just speed your work up. That's only for speed rather than any other practicalities there. And just gonna stab all the wool in that I've added. I've got a bit more grass. This actually looks like hay now that I'm pulling out. All of our wool, it's definitely worth mentioning, comes from ethical sources where the welfare of the animals is paramount, and the animals are kept in an organic fashion. So the wool is actually certified organic. Certainly that's the wool that we import from mainland Europe. The wool that we source from the UK, which is not probably is about, I don't know, I'd like to say maybe 10 to 15%. Most of it we buy from UK farmers and people who buy the wool in the UK and process it themselves. So small businesses, and some of the other wool that we buy comes from reputable UK suppliers as well. So it's really important to us that the animals that have given us that wonderful wool are happy and have been looked after as well, and that the wool is obtained in a animal welfare sense way. Right, I'm going to leave it there now, and I'm going to do the next bit that I need to do the head. So for that I need to oh, there's a little bit of a soft area there. For that I need my orange wool to make the nose. And sorry, I just found there was a bit of a fluffy patch here still. So you've got a lot of orange here. Again, if you use half of it, that will still be a big nose, but you can design your own scarecrow, and you could make a carrot nose even. I'm going to stick with making a round little nose. So I'm going to roll this in now into a ball shape already. Just, you could start small, and then if you want to make it bigger, you could add more wool over the top. But my scarecrow has sort of more of a little button nose. Roll it in, roll it in, roll it in, and then with a single needle, mind your fingers, just going to give it a few stabs to secure the shape, and then I'm going to shape it a little bit whilst it's on the mat. And you felt this into a soft small ball of about 1 centimeter if you are following my instructions. If you are making up your own stylized nose, then it might be bigger, smaller, or an altogether different shape. If you want to know how to needle felt a carrot, if you're a complete new beginner, we do have a free tutorial on our website on how to make carrots. And if you want to make carrots from the rest of the wool, then that's even better. So now you're gonna have to make a little indentation bang on in the center of the face, or the ball. So you could pick the nicest looking part of the ball if there is one. Maybe it all looks the same, and just use your coarse needle and just keep quite stubbornly felting. Just felt into one area to make an indentation. You're making a little hollow there that will receive the nose in a minute. Bang on in the middle there, and then you place the nose into it, so it shouldn't roll off because you've made a little hollow for it to rest in. And now it's quite important to fasten it on. What I do is I hold the nose in place, and then I just stab around the edges so that I stab the orange fibers into the beige colored wool for the head. But I'm not flattening the nose because I'm going around the edges, and I'm maintaining that round shape of the nose, but I'm felting the nose on at the same time. So you do this all around until the nose is secure, and you're just catching the orange fibers on the side and pushing them into the head shape to secure the nose. And once you've done that, you might want to stab into the nose itself a little bit more to reduce the size of the nose if it's too big. But if you're happy with it, then it's fine. Sorry, I'm smiling here at the moment because it must be a sort of cat day, but I can hear my cat outside the door meowing, and he can obviously hear me, and it's like, let me in, but I'm not letting him in. Do you want to see him? Shall I go and get him? Yes. Okay, I'll go and get him, and then you can see him if he's still there. I'll have to let him go straight away because he can't be in here. He's just causing mischief. Come on in, you fat cat. Okay, coming with my cat. Ready? Steady. Coming round. Here he is. That's our Georgie. There. What are you doing, George? He's saying hello. He's very, very handsome. You're good at teaching, aren't you, George? Yes. Right, that's it. One fat cat going out again. Sorry. Oh, God. Be back in a second. Go on then, out you go. You won't do that again, meow. To be let in. Okay, back to attend to the Scarecrow. Here I am. Right. There we go. That's how far I got with my Scarecrow. And now I'm going to do the next bit, which is put the eyes in. So I've kept my eyes safe. They're here. And what you need for this, you just literally need to use your felting needle, and you're going to make a hole. Show it this way. You're going to make a hole right next to the nose by stabbing your needle in. So the reason why I'm going in and out is because I'm trying to avoid the wire, which every time I put my needle in, I come up against. So you're basically, if you've got an awl, you can use an awl, but put the needle in so that it sinks away, but mind it's coming out at the other end. So have your finger out of the way. And as soon as you've made a hole, insert the eye. Yeah, like that. Keep the eye in there. Repeat on the other side. You can put the eyes further away from the nose. This is just how I like it. But if you want the eyes to be further away, then you can do that too. And so you're putting the eyes in now. So I've now got my nose and 2 eyes on either side. And then you need some glue. We like these glue sticks because they've got a nice and fine nozzle. You don't need to take the eyes out again. You just literally put a dab of glue behind the eyes, push it in to let it dry, and you do the same on the other side there. So I'm not worrying about the eyes anymore. They're in there now, all secure. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to make a mouth for the Scarecrow. Got a lot of black there. There will be black left over. You just need a tiny wisp. And you could shape this into a thin strand and give him a smiley mouth. Or maybe you're going to give him a scary mouth. I've even thought if you want to make a scary Scarecrow, as they have to be scary to scare the crows away, you could even make one where it's like a stitched mouth. So put little vertical stripes onto the mouth as well. So at the moment it looks really big, the mouth, but it will shrink down as you're felting it. So I'm giving my Scarecrow a smiley mouth, but if you want to give him a scary look, then you could, once you've done this, add little almost like cross sections across here, as if he's got a sewn up mouth. And you could also give him like, I haven't given my Scarecrow any eyebrows, but you can play with this wool quite a bit and give him sort of like eyebrows. So you can make them crossed, and you would put them like that so they look a bit stern, or you can there like that. So he could look a little bit more menacing, but I quite like them when they look lovely. So I'm not going to do that. But you can play with it before you felt it down, because you get an idea of what the expression is going to look like. And that's the face of the Scarecrow. How I need to sneeze. No, it's gone. Always like that. You mention it, it goes. Right, so that's how far I've got with my Scarecrow now. It's really important you felt that head down quite well so that it has kept its round shape. Otherwise, you get a very flat face, and the head becomes quite flat in itself. So make sure you've got plenty of wool. You can make that nice and firm. Put lots of wool on there and get that head needle felted. And there we go. That's as far as I got with the head. Now I'm going to put this to one side because I'm going to look at the top now for his Hessian upper body. But I'm going to read just a little bit more here. So let's have a look. So you say your wool is too precious to put around the vegetable, but trust me, once you've needle felted for a long time, you'll end up with all kinds of bits and pieces, like real lots of stushy stuff that you feel, oh, I can't throw that away. But at the same time, if it serves a good purpose, that might be the perfect place. And if nothing else, the birds love it too. Especially in spring, they come and pick it up and build a nice soft woolly nest for their chicks. Read all of this. Bridget says sawdust works too, but don't use it from treated pine. Green tinted wood, straw works too. Aha, see, there's all the kinds of gardening tips coming up. Erica says my runner ducks love slugs and do not touch the veggies. Runner ducks, you need runner ducks, everybody, if you want to keep the slugs out of your veg bed, and for the ducks to also not eat your veggies. Right. Okay. So apparently from Google, as Emma's research did, wool and hair absorb the slime from slugs and snails and thereby repel them because they need the slime, obviously. Why anybody needs slime is a mystery. Slugs might take flying lessons into the wild meadow and horse paddock. I get it now. Okay. Bridget says, oops, I can't remove my typo. Runner ducks. Okay, I haven't even seen it, so we'll just move on. Carol says, my scarecrow is watching over the flowers for the bees and fairies. Marion says, yes, please, love cats. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So this is about Joji now. So, yeah, he's a Bengal. I bet he wouldn't catch my garden birds. He is actually really rubbish at catching anything. So it's always a bit a joke in our family. But I don't think he can catch birds. He might just be able to catch a lame mouse if he's lucky. And Rose says, I love the glue pens. So do we. And seat choices, please, can we have a visit, a VIP visit for every tutorial? Love it. Thanks for the tips all. Well, next time I try and catch a chicken. So okay, we're going on to the Hessian now, and what you need to do for this is you do need to have your template at the ready. So use a piece of paper or anything that you can use to draw your template. Normally I cut it out of the instructions, but it's really bad because there is actually something behind it, and also Emma doesn't like it, so I won't do that. So I'm going to draw now my template onto a piece of paper that is see-through. I'm going to do this freehand, so it's probably not going to be as straight as the original one, but whatever you need to do to get that template onto a piece of paper so that you can cut that out. And for this one, I think I'm going to go for the other shape of the tunic. So I'm going to do the straight shape for this one, whereas before I did the yes, that's right. I'm going the right direction. Well, with the other one, I did the slightly tunic shape. Oh my God. Okay, I've just got to tell you something terrible. So, well, it might not be terrible, but somebody says, can the tortoise come and visit again? Well, the problem is she's run away, and we've had this happen before, and so we're a little bit less worried about her than we were last time, because tortoises are notorious for running away. She's somewhere in our garden. We've looked and looked and looked. We can't find her. We just hope that nobody's scooped her up and taken her, because that wouldn't be very nice at all. But so yes, when she comes back, I promise you, you'll be the first to see her. It might be a few years before this is happening, but who knows? Right, so I've cut out my shape here for the tunic. The rest of the paper away. Back to the instructions. And what you're doing now is you take your piece of Hessian and fold it in half so that you have a doubled up piece that is 12 centimeters long and 18 centimeters wide. So it's basically that way. So you're folding it, or is it that way? Yes, it's that way. So you're folding it so that it's, if you imagine that was an A4 piece of paper, you're folding it in half like that. And I'm just going to go overhead so you can see this better. So that you now have the width of the Hessian is now the length, if you like, and then it's 12 centimeters long, no, wide, or whatever. Well, whatever. And then you lay this piece of Hessian on top, which should be more or less the same size. Draw onto the Hessian. You can also draw directly onto the Hessian if you want to just use a ruler and follow the measurements. And now you're going to cut the shape out whilst it's doubled up. It's just being lazy. There. But you also have the folded bit at the top, so that you are actually, this is closed here at the top, and that is quite important to have definitely not two separate parts, because that makes it easier for us later to close the sides up. And then you can keep these pieces of Hessian if you want to maybe sew on some pockets or some patches onto your Scarecrow, but I haven't done that on the original model, but that's just an extra idea. And now you've got your piece of Hessian there, and now you're going to put that to one side. Okay, now what's going to happen next is that you're going to start on the arms, and you need one of these wires, the steel wires, flexible steel wires. These are 45 centimeters long, and you need to fold this into three parts. So fold it in at one end and then fold the other end in as well, so that you have got three, it's tripled up, if that makes sense. So you've got three wires running side by side like that. And then all you're going to do is take your the beige wool, which is the slightly darker. This is the one you use for the head. This is the one that you're using for the arms and to stuff the body later. And you take off a strand of that wool, and you're going to wrap this around all of the length of these tripled up wires here. So give it a nice tight wrap. Go over it. You do not need to fold the ends in. The bit of the wire here is staying at the end of it. Keep going round and round and round till you get to the end of the wire. And you don't want this to be, this part here, you don't want this to be thicker than 1 centimeter. The reason being, it has to fit in, the sleeves have to fit around it, so you don't want to make it too fat. Go past it again, round it again. And if you, because we're not sort of layering it down very thinly and then going over it again, you can use your felting mat to just stab it in a bit so that the fibers don't come loose. I mean, these aren't, because I've wrapped them well, but if yours are coming loose a bit, then just felt them in. Make sure you stab past the wire, don't stab into the wire like that. And I will just make sure, yeah, this is about 1 centimeter. This is a little bit skinnier, so I'm going to wrap a little bit more on the skinnier part to fill that out a bit more. And again, I'm just gonna stuff that in just so that it doesn't start falling apart, which it shouldn't, but you never know. I'm rolling it as I'm stabbing it, but I'm going past the wire. I'm definitely stabbing more into the side than into the middle. And now you've got a piece of wrapped length here. And what you need to do now is you need to make the bushy hands. And to do this, you take a wisp of your wool, of the same wool that you've just used, and you're going to turn this into a little brush, but by pulling it apart and laying the fibers on top of each other, so that you have a nice little bundle of wool where the fibers are facing the same way. You can continue doing that just to make sure that you align them nicely and you haven't got any sort of wispy ends sticking out. So you've got a nice bushel of if that's a word, of wool here. And that basically, now you need to stick that onto the end of your one set of the arms like that. And then you're going to use a little bit more of the main wool that you have used, and you're literally wrapping that around the end. Go as far to the end as you can possibly manage, because you want the this wool to stick out, and wrap that around it so that you're fastening it on, basically. So you're tying it like a broom almost at the end of your arms, and then you can felt this down as well a little bit. Does it actually say that? Insert the end of the wrapped wire into the middle of the brush. Bundles of the fibers are running from side to side in the same direction as the wire. That's what I'm. And then use another strand of the beige wool and wind it around the middle of the brush. And now you're doing this so that the arm is no thicker than 2 centimeters. So you're building up a little bit more of the bulk of the arm. So you can go along the arm as well to do that. And then obviously you've done one hand. Now you've got to do the other one. So I'm taking off another bit of that wool, bundle it up. So once you've got a similar quantity, actually take this as well. Do this a few times, because that will make sure that the fibers are running in the same direction and you sort of have them quite aligned. It's quite a long fiber. Insert into the wire into the other side, and then again take off a strand of that same wool and wrap it around so that you're tying it up. Just checking where the wire is inside. Move it to as far down the end of the arm as possible, and wrap the wool around it, and then give it a little stab. So now you've got sort of bushy wool bits sticking out at the end of each wire, which will in effect become the hands, the straw hands, if you like. Oh, that was very close. Ooh, getting close to hitting the wire there. So that's what it looks like now. Just show you on the big camera what it looks like. There you go. Got a mustache, something like that. And the next thing I'm going to do is, which I'll show you straight away, you're going to take your ready-made top here, and you're going to open this up, so it needs to be joined here. You insert the arms. This is why they need to be right at the edge, so that they actually stick out. If they're not sticking out, then you could sort of maybe pull them a little bit, but don't pull them off. And then you're going to fold this over like that. And then you're going to, there's no sewing at all in any of this, but you're going to use felting wool now to felt this together, the top together. And you're using that wool, this wool, the head wool that you've used before to felt this together, and I will show you that in a minute. And when I'm starting to felt the sides together, that's when Emma is going to draw a winner. But in the meantime, I just want to have a quick look what's going on here. My Scarecrow will be guarding the birds so they can feed on my bird feeders. My tortoise got out of her outdoor pen last week and was hiding behind the garage under an old lawnmower. Oh, says Serena. Well, we lost our tortoise years and years ago, and she was only tiny. She was way too young to hibernate, but she got out at the end of the summer. And then we definitely thought we lost her forever and ever and ever. And then the following spring, she turned up, and she was tiny. She was only fitting into our hand. Totty now is about that size. So I think she's probably going to be really good looking after herself. My only concern is that somebody took her. And because she got out a couple of days before that, and we found her straight away, and we've looked everywhere, she's not. And we literally trimmed all the garden, cut everything back, because they're really good at digging themselves under as well. And it was a little bit early for her to hibernate. So I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens. Right, let's go back to the arms. Maybe I should also just tell you, so we have actually had a wonderful Go Wild with the Makers summer retreat, and we had a full house. There were 20 participants. We did we processed raw fleece, or everything we said we would do, we did. We processed raw fleece, some curls, some beautiful Cotswold curls. We had some Leicester long wool. We worked with some Shropshire fleece, and it was all washed. It came out absolutely amazing. And then we had 3 stations of dyeing. One was acid dyeing, one was plant and indigo dyeing, and the third one was food color dyeing in the microwave. And then those fibers and other fibers that were available were wet felted into the background of a picture, which was what amazing to watch, all the different things coming to life and seeing all the colors coming out. And that was all done in one day, so it was pretty intense and full on. And then on the second day, that picture that then was dry was used to needle felt a scene onto, and we used water soluble paper, or some of us used that anyway, to draw a template on top of maybe an animal or a house or something like that, and then to position it onto the picture and build up with other features needle felted freehand around it. It was amazing. Do have a look at our Facebook page to see some of the pictures. And we are really, really looking forward to our winter retreat, which is up next. We haven't decided on the project yet, but we usually do a larger 3D shape. Don't know yet, but whatever we will do, you will absolutely love it. And a lot of it is about learning new retreats. There's a little bit you can read yourself about it. It is in Gloucestershire at the Hawkwood College. It will be at the end of January, 28th to the 30th of January. This will be the second time we're going back to this particular venue, but it's by no means our second winter retreat. I think we keep trying to remember how many retreats we've done, but it's definitely over 6 now. And we what was I going to? Yes, it's beautiful, beautiful setting. It's all homegrown organic food that will be served. We will have a relaxing time with lots of wine, and if you don't drink wine, with other nice drinks, and lots of friendly people making friends. It's all quite even this weekend gone, everything was by choice. You didn't have to do certain things. If you wanted to take time out, that's fine. So it's all yeah, it was all really relaxed. So we now are open for bookings. The prices are dearer than they were last year. Was it last year? Yes, we did one last year at the beginning of 2020. And that is only a reflection of the increase of prices of the venue. We have not put our prices up, but we had to reflect the increased cost from the venue. And I think part of that is because hospitality venues and all of that, they have really, really gone through a tough time. And I should know because I'm here at the Wilderness Centre, and I know exactly how hard it's been for many of these venues to keep going throughout lockdown and keep ends meet. And many didn't. Many aren't even here anymore. So the ones that are still here, we must support. And so we are really delighted to return to Hawkwood College in Stroud in January 2022. If you want to come and join us, then do email us and tell us that you're interested. info@themakers with 2ss.co.uk, and just put in the subject header, I'm interested in the winter retreat or something like that. And then we send you more information. But we can't give you a project yet. But I'm sure that you will not be disappointed if you look at our past testimonials and reviews. Everybody's always been very pleased with what we've been doing. And you can see behind me, I've hung up some pumpkins because it's going to be that time of the year. And I will be demonstrating during the Autumn Needle Felting UK festival, which you might already have spotted on Facebook. We will be promoting this a little bit closer to the time, but I will show you how to needle felt one of these little pumpkins during that time. There are always special discount codes available. And then, of course, we will be doing the larger version of the pumpkin nearer, well, actually after the Scarecrow. So that's our next project before we do the witch. Right, Emma, ready? Over to you. I'm now going to Emma, and then on Thursday it will be Hannah. Actually, she's back from holiday to draw the winner for the Facebook competition. And I'm going to show you now how you're going to close up these seams without having to sew. So you line the seams up on top of each other, and you take a wisp of the wool, and then you lay that on top of there, and all you're going to do is stab it in so it goes through to the other side, and you're catching that seam. So now you know why you couldn't go really fat on these arms, because you don't want to put any pressure onto that seam. It's not as strong as if you're sewing it. So if you do want to sew it, you can, but you don't have to. And once you've felted it on, it sort of fastens itself onto the felting mat. So do take it off, turn it round. You can see all the fibers have come out at the other side here, and you can lay on a few more fibers. You don't need as many as you had on the other side, and just stab them in again, and then repeat that process a few times, going in and out, and really establishing a nice solid closed up seam here. If the Hessian sort of misbehaves and wisps of it come off, don't worry, cut them off for now, but it's actually quite a nice feature later on around the sleeves, especially when you can pull some of these out and make it look a little bit more shaggy. So that's quite nice that that is happening. And then when you've done the under the sleeves, then you work your way to felt the seams shut along the side of the top, and then you also do this obviously on the other side. Repeat all of that on the other side, and that is what we're doing here now. And once that has happened, let me just double check what else we're doing. So we are, yes, that's it. That's basically what we're doing today. I will show you how to put the head on as well, and then we're ready for the next week's. And we have got a winner today on Tuesday. I think it's the 17th of August 2021, and it's Heather P, I think it is. Heather P, if I heard that second letter. I know it's definitely Heather, but I don't know if it was P. I think I heard that right. And so well done, Heather. Do drop us an email and to info@themakers. Let us know that you are today's YouTube competition prize winner. And then we get your details and we send you one of those pumpkin packs out, which you can use to join us during the large pumpkin make. T for train, sorry, I heard P, but it's actually T for tango, T for anything but P. So that's it. Stabbing this closed. Make sure when you stab the seam closed, you stay quite close to the edge, not too close so that it just comes open, or the Hessian sort of disintegrates, but don't make it too tight, otherwise you've got a very skinny scarecrow. And keep going over it a few times so that the fibers can definitely fuse into each other and make a nice solid seam. And you should be able to see that by inserting your finger, and it's not popping open when you try to poke it. And then you repeat that on the other side. Keep the little hands, the straw like hands out. And then repeat that on the other side, and then you've basically made the whole of the upper body. You've made the tunic, and see, I've missed a little bit of the fabric there, so now I've got to lay it over a bit more. You'll find out if you haven't managed to fuse it together, because it just won't be a seam. So try and make sure you lay the sides on top of each other really well. You can also use your multi-tool for this. Again, it just works a little bit faster and a bit more thoroughly. And then turn it over, felt it down from the other side, lay a little bit more wool over it if you need to, and repeat that. So maybe 2-3 times to keep turning it over and repeat it, so that you've got your nice solid seam. But if you want to sew it, you can also sew it. I'm not saying you can't, it's just not necessary, because you can felt it shut. And because it's a scarecrow, it doesn't matter if it's looks a little bit tatty. That's exactly the look we're going for. So going to put that over there, going straight to my multi-tool this time. You can leave the sides open a little bit. That might help with the stuffing later on. I should have said that earlier. But if you haven't left it open, you can probably tease it open if you need to. So you can do that later still. And it just has like a little side gap. Okay, put that out. That was nearly my finger. It was an ow in anticipation, but it didn't quite reach me, thankfully. There we go. So if these bits are coming off, if you can take them off, then do. But if you have to force them off, then just cut them off. So and I need to put a bit more wool over there. And that is basically how you've made the top and the head. But I will just show you how you insert the head. It's really so super easy. You wouldn't believe it. And then next time we're gonna do the head, and we will stuff the top. And then we're so close. It's quite a fast project actually. So obviously now you've got your tunic here that is empty still, and all you need to do is find the middle of your top and then poke a hole with the green wire into it, and then put the head, insert the wire into it past the arms, and that's basically how you fit the head. And that's all we're doing today. So you've got if you've watched this from beginning to end today, you will have got your head that's wobbly and wibbly and can go up and down still. You've made your tunic, fastened it together, and you've got your straw-like arms sticking out. At the moment, we're not deciding yet what's the front or the back. He hasn't got a clue. Do you know what's the front or the back? No, not yet. Do you want to know next time? Yes. We'll do that next time, okay? So that's all I've got to say for today. I'll just have another quick check-in what people are talking about. And oh yes, Heather is being congratulated. Oh no, the Fighting Felter says, hi everyone, gutted I can't watch the whole live as I'm going out with my daughter, but wanted to pop by and say hi. I'll catch up later. Catch up later, or catch us on Thursday at 7 p.m. And you have another chance to win yourself this massive big bag of wool to make lots of pumpkins. And it actually says it does make over 30 mini pumpkins or one life-size pumpkin. So if you think that's a lot of pumpkins, well, that's only 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. You can make almost 3 times as many as that. So lots to do. And the only other thing I will show you, because we haven't made a big hoo-ha about it yet, but it is definitely worth having checking this out, because you've asked and you've asked and you've asked, and we've put together a second fairy decorations bundle, and I will show you this overhead because there is just so much in it. It's just really hard to show it all, and we've packed it up really well. But you will get in there a couple of fabrics to make fairy wings. You've got some trimming, in fact there's 3 different ones in there. You get some sequins, some trims, more trims. You have some, this could well be something for a more Christmas style version of a fairy. You get some flowers, you get some feathers. There's over 150 different types of decorations in there. You get a whole strand of this. Now if that was me, I would pull it off from for fairies, I would pull it off the the jute string, which you can do. It's just literally twisted around it, so you could have a beautiful garland just with these multicolored flowers on there. So just ignore that it's on this Hessian, that's a bonus. You get some more little trims, you get lots of little wings here, little more flowers, little wand. You get an amethyst crystal in there. You have lots of little accessories, little tiny little crowns, little toadstools. How cute are these? Look at that. You get lots of these in there. You've got some sparkly clear acrylic stones in there, more flowers, more toadstools, lots of little decorations, tiny little butterflies. I mean, these are just so perfect for fairies. Look at that, aren't they cute? And lots of little sparkly decorations there as well, which you can put onto your fairies. If you've got the patience to do that, it will be absolutely amazing. So lots of little butterflies there as well. So there are plenty of decorations in there, some more rhinestones that you can glue on, lots of things to decorate your own design fairies, and we can't wait to see what you're using it for. So share it with us. These are now available on our website. It's a box full of decorations which we did last time for you, and they flew off the shelf. So we've upped the quantity a bit more so that you don't miss out, because many did miss out, and it's, oh, we always hate that when that happens. We always feel, oh, if only we had done a few more. But in any case, that's all I've got for today. So do stay in touch, ask questions, share anything that you've made on our Everyone a Maker Facebook page, as long as you can lead it back one way or another to one of our makers products. And that's all I've got to say today. So I hope that you will join us again next week for part 2 of the Scarecrow, and hopefully that yeah, you can all show us the progress of your Scarecrow starting to scare all the crows away soon. Take care, everybody. Lots of love. Bye.